Hi, and welcome to the Live Edge Lumber Girl Show. This episode of the Live Edge Lumber Girl Show comes to you from Tags Tools, with 2 locations to serve you in Hamilton, one at 1104 Barton Street East, and in the mountain at 1361 Rymel Road East, your go-to store for hard-to-find tools and machinery.
So I'm here with David, the co-owner of Northern Joinery and the Orillia Makers Market. And so it's so nice to have you here, David. I'm just so excited. This is our second interview.
Yeah, it's great to be here. And, you know, I think the second interview will be better than the first. So people didn't miss much.
Anyways, a botched Zoom meeting. Those happen to everybody, I'm sure. Okay, so David, tell me about how did it all really begin? How did Northern Joinery come to be?
I have loved woodworking since I was a little kid. As soon as I realized that I could do what I absolutely loved and make money at it, I was hooked. So I really focused on woodworking a lot through high school and growing up. And that led me into a career of contracting. And we got into contracting, and the major portion of contracting that we would do is kitchens. And I would custom build kitchens for people. And I guess sort of along the way of doing that, people would ask if I could build them a table. So, you know, we started building tables, and then that started to really outgrow the contracting side of the business. And we still do some contracting stuff here and there, but not nearly as much as I used to. Now we're really focused on the wood shop and all of the projects out here. And, you know, I have such a passion for what I do. I wake up some mornings and just can't wait to get into the shop because I have a crazy idea and I want to do it. And I think, you know, being able to do what you absolutely love every day is a blessing all in itself. You know, and so I think for any other woodworkers out there, if you love woodworking, just keep chugging away, doing what you do. That's how it started. It all started when I was a kid.
Yeah, so a lot has happened since we first spoke when we were deep into the initial shock of COVID-19. And there was a lot of sad stuff going on, but I think that things have really improved, especially for your business. And I'm really happy. I see you've got all sorts of stuff. You can make it custom designed legs out of wood. I love it.
Thank you.
And I want to touch on that definitely, and some of your more recent work. Tell me a bit about the legs, first of all. I'm just really curious. Are you coming out with a whole design line that can be bought by other makers, or?
I guess the short answer to that would be that's not really in the plan to do that. But of course, you know, everything's for sale. I have to keep my lights on just like everybody else. No, I think since the beginning of the Northern Joinery, we've always strived to be different. And I don't like to do anything that's wash, rinse, repeat. And I think for years and years, even like a lot of the tables that were done with 3 different sets of steel legs across every table. Now, of course, with the introductory of flowy line designs, the awesome designs from Tailored Custom Fab and the designs from the guys over at North Dog, the steel-based industry has really taken quite a turn, a radical turn, an amazing turn, where everything just looks incredible and is very unique to specific tabletops. We've always really prided ourselves on being joiners first and foremost. So throughout all the years, we've always done really custom, unique wood bases on our tables. And the nice thing about having some downtime through COVID is it gave me some time to sit back, reflect, and come up with some really cool new designs. And a lot of these designs are very specific to some of the clients that we have that we're doing some really amazing tables for. So the twist bases that you're referring to, and if anybody hasn't seen them, they can go on our Instagram page and take a look. Yeah. That was a design specific for one of our big customers out in Malibu. And they had come to me and said, really, this is the size of table we want. This is the color scheme. Just do your thing. So I sent them those designs, and of course they loved it. in that design pack, we have another 4 or 5 different bases that'll be coming out over the next few months that are all project specific. So I'm really excited for people to see these. I think they're certainly unique. Like everything that we try and push out of our shop, you know, we try and be truly one of a kind.
You are one of a kind, absolutely.
I've been told that, but not just about my woodworking. So thank you.
Oh yes, definitely, and not just in your woodwork, definitely. You've been supportive through COVID with all your music on Facebook, which has been, you know, it's just been awesome to connect everybody. That was really good that you did that, and you're still doing it.
I still am. Yeah, it's fun for me. It's a good hobby.
Yeah. So I noticed that you did a table with glass.
Yeah. It's very I guess very Klassen inspired. You know, it's certainly, you know, that's not something I ever came up with, but I'd never done one before, and I came up with a very unique walnut U-shaped base for that table. And when I was standing back looking at it, I hadn't decided what I was going to do for the top. And as it turned, it was a table for the showroom in the store, just to change things up there. And when I was looking at it, I decided that it needed to look like the top was floating. So we came up with a really unique structure system underneath to support the map of slabs, which, you know, can be finicky at times. And then routed the glass in and did a really unique shape through it. And it turned out awesome. Really pleased with it.
Yeah, not too many people do the Greg Klassen look anymore, but so it's kind of nice to see it for a change, you know, for a change, because everybody's been doing so much of the epoxy these days, more so than the glass, right? Which the epoxy actually, I think, is easier to take care of in the way of dust and dirt and all that stuff.
You know, and that was something that we looked at when we were doing it. We wanted to ensure that we routed the seam as tight as possible. Just to keep all the dust and dirt out. And obviously the glass comes off the table. It's not affixed. So it's just set on rubber stops. But yeah, it was a fun project for us. I mean, that's what I'm very fortunate. I love my job. You know, I get to come in and be unique and come up with cool designs or you know, pay homage to other amazing artists and you know, we all take bits and pieces from one another. So that was a fun one for us. Definitely different.
That and your floating vanity. I think everybody freaked out about that one. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So that was in a client's home.
Yeah, it's in a client's home now, and I know that got a lot of love on Instagram, and you know, which I love because I think Instagram is my my nemesis. You know, I don't post near enough. That's probably my biggest struggle in this world. But that vanity, the customer freaked out equally as much. So they absolutely love it. It's a one of a kind showstopper.
Yeah, they must enjoy brushing their teeth every day.
Yeah, it's actually it's in their powder room on their main floor, so it's a bathroom that they don't typically even use all that much. But they wanted something where when they have guests, you know, sort of post COVID, that you know, they'll be able to show it off.
You don't just do LiveEdge. You do some beautiful, like, actually your LiveEdge is fine. You've taken LiveEdge and you've turned it into fine furniture. But you do also notice that you do the fine furniture. So I noticed that you did like a bedroom set recently, and so you're offering that too. Do you also do like kitchen stuff, or
we do everything? So our mantra here in the shop is if it's wood, we're good. You know, customers bring us stuff and we love a challenge. Again, you know, sort of going back to the I really don't like the wash, rinse, repeat. It's not something that intrigues me. So I want to make sure that every day in the shop is a unique experience. I want to always keep pushing boundaries and enhancing our skills. So we'll take on just about any project. We really will. It doesn't really matter. Over all the years, I've done things from guitars and canoes and all sorts of furniture and, you know, mantles, fireplaces, staircases, you know, really anything wood we'll tackle. And the more unique, the better, the more intrigued I am.
Tell me about your crew. How many people work with you in your shop?
So there's 5 of us, myself included, in the shop full time. It's been sort of a slow burn over, I guess, 22 years of having the shop. For a long time, it was just me in my garage. And then, you know, years in, we got our first small shop, and I hired my first guy who's still with me today. And yeah, over the years we've added, and now there's 5 of us in here, and we're one big happy burly family.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's awesome. Like, what about epoxy? Talk to me about epoxy and the challenges that you face, and things that you, maybe some little tricks that you could share that would help people when it comes to, you know, mixing or cure times or how much pigment to use, things like that.
Yeah, I think we've been playing with epoxy for so long that when we started using epoxy, I don't even know how many years ago, pigments weren't even really a thing. And that's got us to a point where I think, knock on wood, we don't have too many issues anymore. We're very big supporters of polymer technologies and the chill epoxy. And I really like it for a couple of reasons. The main reason that I like the product is because they've developed something that isn't designed for every single application. So they have a line of epoxies. The biggest thing I like about it, which happens to be one of the things that a lot of other guys don't like about it, is the cure time. So the cure time is very long. For example, when we do our big tables, we'll do it 1 pour. We'll use their product called Deep Pour. It has a 700-minute pot life, and a lot of guys don't like that because the product actually doesn't fully cure for 10 to 15 days. We will typically leave them in the forms for 20 days. Now, the benefit to that for me is, most guys recommend sealing the edges of their lumber, doing their pours. I actually completely disagree with how that's done. We do things totally different. I believe that you need to use a very, very watery viscosity resin and a very, very slow cure time in order for that resin to saturate the wood. So when you cut through a slab used with a product like Deep Pour at the end, you can see resin flakes flying out of the wood itself, which means that your chances of having a delam are virtually eliminated. As opposed to using a product that starts to cure in 60 minutes, it's got no time to penetrate that wood. Now, specifically, if you seal the edges of your wood to eliminate bubbles, which, does make sense, you're creating a very, very small, thin bond surface for that product. For us, we warranty our tables for life. So when you're using products like resin that haven't been around all that long, the steps that you take to ensure that the customer will always have 100% satisfaction are key. So for me, I always hold true to the thought process that time should never be a factor for perfection.
Right.
You shouldn't worry about rushing things to get them done. We don't rush anything in our shop. Our typical table turnaround is about, 6 weeks. We take our time with everything. Now we're working on multiple tables at one time or
Sure.
multiple projects, but I think from a resin standpoint, that's a very, very key element that I think never gets discussed. I think most guys don't discuss it. They're worried about the time, and most guys will refute my sort of claim with that. Well, we've never had a delam. I'm like, well, that's great, but how long have you been doing resin tables? What's
Right.
the longest table you've got out there? So time will always tell, and whether or not that method never creates a delam, I mean, I hope it doesn't for all of those people, but the reality is I'm just taking an extra step to ensure that it does not.
Right. That's awesome. That's interesting. It's good to hear that from you. I've heard different things from different people, of course, because I know so many, and there are different ways of looking at it. It's just something for me to take to heart for when I'm doing my little jobs. I never do anything as big as you, but
and listen, again, it doesn't mean the way I do things is the right way. It's just the way we're very comfortable doing it in our shop.
Sure.
And for us, it works. For us, it works. And I'm very happy with the resins that we use and the processes that we adhere to.
What did you want to talk about? Do you have something? I know you've got some things you want to talk about, so let's hear what you got to talk about.
We've
new?
had a really, really, really crazy year. We opened a store called the Makers Market, which is a really nice change for me because it means that I no longer have my furniture through other retail spaces, and it allows me to really, really get my furniture business back to my roots, where I'm dealing directly with the customers one-on-one or with the interior designers, which we deal a lot with, as opposed to having another middleman in the way. So having the store has been incredible. Plus we carry, it's called the Makers Market. There's 70 other local makers and artisans in our store, which that's been a lot of fun too. Since you've known me and the community's known me, I'm always about community over competition.
Yep.
And I believe there's enough work out there for all of us. So I'm really happy to showcase a lot of this other amazing talent in our store. So that's been huge. What that's done is it's actually, it's been challenging because for years, Beth was always with me in the shop. And she would handle a lot of the orders and the paperwork, and she would also do a lot of the finishing in the shop. So now, she's not here. She's over running the store with her hands full. So that's kind of put a little more work on our plate here at the shop. But, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's awesome.
Right.
The other thing that has been really amazing for us is, we've really, in the last year, despite my biggest downfall, which is my Instagram, everybody always says, how come you don't have more followers? You should have way more followers. You don't post enough. I think mainly because we're a wood shop first and foremost. And, we have been long before Instagram came around. I know a lot of other guys have built their business through Instagram, which is awesome. And I see the value in it. I just, we're always so busy that I forget to post things and everything. Well,
the
nice thing about it is I actually do need it. And the reason I need it is because it's been very good to us. We've, in the last year, we're doing 2 tables right now. One's going to Malibu and one's going to Hawaii. And they're for celebrity couples. And I mean, that's kind of the perfect client for us,
Cool.
So we're really, really thrilled about where things are going. So actually now I've made a change where we brought in a guy, Night Vision Media, and he's going to start filming, doing pro shots of all my furniture. And he's going to really help me with my Instagram. I think even as I say all this to you, I haven't posted maybe something in about a week and a half to Instagram. It's just funny. We get going here in the shop and we don't have time. And it's funny because I find time to watch all of my other friends who have awesome Instagram channels. Right. And I really, really enjoy watching all their content and everything. And I think, wow, it'd be really nice if we could get there. And, I just never sort of put the effort into it. So that's going to change. So for everybody that follows me, thank you very much. I promise to up my content game massively. And I've been saying that for years too, since we've been on it. We're relatively new to social media, our company. I think I've been on Instagram for 2 years, and even having a Facebook page, it's 2 years old, maybe. So I'm just grateful for everybody that follows along, and I'm grateful for those that share things, and it really helps get us business.
Instagram, well, LiveEdgeLumberGirl was born on Instagram. That's where I started everything. So Instagram has totally been wonderful to me, the people that follow me and support me and the business that I've created from it. So there's definitely some value there for to get onto Instagram more. I'm kind of hurting on the Instagram stuff currently, but things are going to change. Don't worry.
It's funny because that's how we met, and that's how I met a lot of guys in the maker community, and it is a community. We
totally a community.
I love so many friends that I've met through Instagram and through the makers community. So it's been phenomenal. But again, it's just something where I guess you and I had talked about this before. We're both a little old school in a lot of ways, and I often forget that technology is my friend as my earbuds keep falling out. I forget that technology is my friend, and that I need to utilize it. And the other thing too with technology and woodworking is we've even our website has been typically horrendous until COVID came, and then we geared the website. And the website's very heavily geared towards the store. So now we're just in the process of separating the store and the joinery, and having a really nice website built for the joinery that'll showcase a lot of my stuff. Because again, there's so many items that go out of the shop that we don't even ever take pictures of.
So anyways, well, listen, I think that you have an awesome business, and I hope that people will take the time to check you out. Can you tell everybody where they can find you? What's your Instagram?
So our Instagram is at the Northern Joinery. And you can find us at the Northern Joinery on Facebook, and the northernjoinery.com is our website.
All right.
So yeah, I'd love to get some new followers. To see some of this new content that I'm promising.
And I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm always watching for your stuff.
Awesome.
So
well, thanks so much.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, David.
This has been a lot of fun. Thanks for thinking of me, Paula. It's awesome. I've watched a bunch of the episodes already with some of my favorite other makers that you've had on, and you're doing a great job. You're doing a great service for the community.
Thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed watching, be sure to click like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell to stay in the loop. If you have any questions, or if you would like to be featured on the Live Edge Lumber Girl Show, leave a comment below. Until next time.